In Creo Parametric 9.0, you now have the ability to divide a surface. To do that, go to the Split drop-down menu. Here we have the Divide Surface command. And then from within here, we need to pick the surface we want to divide. Let's say I want to break this surface up. And then for the sketch, I'll use the Define button and pick a sketch plane and then get into sketch mode. Let me look directly at my sketch plane. And then I will create a circle. Let's make it about so big. Change the dimension. And now let's use the mini toolbar to get out of sketch mode. And there you can see how the surface will now be divided. I'll hit the check mark and we can see the two different portions of the surface. And this has a number of different uses. Just like in Creo Simulate, you could use it to apply loads or boundary conditions to a portion of a surface. Now it's easier than ever in order to change the color of a surface. Let me scroll down and find an appearance that I like, and then I can pick that small portion of the surface that I divided, and it is now the new color. Let's take a look at another use and another way of creating the divided surface. Let's say I want to divide this curved surface. I can project a curve onto it. Let's go to the Divide Surface command, and then while I am in here, I will create a sketch. We can go to the datums on the right-hand side of the ribbon. By the way, if you've never used this, this is the easy way in order to embed datums within a feature. And I will sketch on this surface. Let's click the sketch button. Let me look directly at my sketch plane. And for this one, let me use a center rectangle, and I'll let it snap right on here. And it's snapping to too many references. Now let's change our dimensions. Plug in a 5 for that and a 0.75. And then a height dimension. Let's just use a value of 1. This is good. Once again, I will use the check mark to get out of sketch mode. So now I've got my sketch, but I want to project it onto the surface. Let me go back to the Model tab. And with the curve still selected, I will choose Project, and I'll project it onto this surface and hit the check mark. Now I'll go back to the Divide Surface tab. Let's hit the Resume button in order to bring the feature back. For the surfaces to divide, I will pick this surface. And instead of using a sketch, I'll use the button on the dashboard to change it to a chain. And let's activate the chain collector. Pick the curve that I just created, and we could flip the divided side if I want to make sure that the divided side is in the middle. That's good. Let's hit the check mark. And so now we have divided up that curved surface. Let's take a look at a use for that. I'm going to turn on the display of my annotations. Let's go to the Annotate tab and create a geometric tolerance, and I can have it just pick a portion of the surface, and let me just middle mouse button to locate that one. And in this particular case, we can change the geometric characteristic to profile of a surface, and we've got our primary datum there. Hey, we can always use the pick icon if we want to grab another datum. And so now I have my geometric tolerance applied just to a portion of the surface. If I select the datum, then we can go to the references on the ribbon. You can see that it is just the divided surface that is being used as the reference for that geometric tolerance. And now that you have a Divide Surface command, you also have a Unify Surface command. Let's take a look at that one. I'll go back to the Model tab, and I'm going to create another divided surface really quickly. Let me pick a surface to divide. Let's create a sketch on this surface, get into sketch mode, and I'm just going to sketch in a small rectangle. I'm not even going to bother changing the dimensions for this one. Let's hit the check mark and hit the check mark again. So now we have divided this surface. Hopefully you can see it there. And if I've divided the surface, hey, let's go to Unify Surfaces, and I can pick the target surface, and then Surface to Unify, hit the check mark, and now we have the unified surface back where it was previously divided. So there you have it, the ability to divide surfaces and then unify them in Creo Parametric 9.0.